Um, What should we listen to? We'll go with the 90s for right now and see how well that is. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry it's a little late. Oh, my Lord, that's a little loud. Hang on. Wow. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Let me set this contraption over here. I'm going to set you up there for a moment. Good morning, all. I do not need in there. This is what I need. Okay. I was going to do a different color of thread, but I really like the pink, which sucks because I'm out of bobbins, so I have to find a couple. Alrighty. I have not woken up at all yet because I apparently have no idea what I am doing. Here we go. Now we put in the bobbin. I'm also hungry. I haven't eaten breakfast yet because it's just... My husband took the weekend off, so that meant that I wasn't up at my normal god-awful hour. So there we go. Trying to kind of catch up. Nope. There we go. So I'm going to do 2 bobbins real quick because I don't want to run out. I don't think it's a 2 bobbin bag, but we'll see. Okay. I had to adjust my laptop because I couldn't really see the screen for YouTube. So yeah, remember that I'm also broadcasting this on YouTube. So if you want to go back and rewatch it, you can do so on there. I'm always happy to have more subscribers as well. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to have an unhealthy breakfast. Maybe. I can get into my donuts. Let me in donuts. There we go. I don't know why they call them crunch. They don't really have a crunch to them, but... Okay. All right. Breakfast has begun. Now, I knew. There you are. Make me close one more door. I don't want to hurt it anymore. I have to take a day this week and go over the machine with a dusting brush and that and just kind of wipe them down. He's starting to get a little bit of fuzzies. And honestly, no matter what kind of thread you use, you're going to end up with some fuzzies because of dust and just friction. Come on. Here we are. So I hope Saturday is finding everyone well. And if you're not well, then I hope you are taking care of yourself. Okay, turn on the machine and we are ready to go. So I'm going to be doing a modified Aries. I'm using some vinyl from Beauty and Geek. And vinyl from, it says Fight Like a Magical Girl on it. The vinyl is from Cosmic Fabric Creations, as is the waterproof canvas. I need those. The zipper tape and the matching webbing are from Fat Rabbit Supplies. Okay. I need that. Let's see, I'm going to need those. And I don't know where my corner punch went, and I am displeased that it has gone missing. These what I think they are. Yeah, those go there. That's okay. So the Aries is by Knotted Threads patterns. I really like it. It's got 2 zippers on the outside and then a middle section to it. The modified one is just kind of a simple open bag with a zipper placket on top. Oh, hold on. I have a cat with a sweet tooth, so if I drop something on the floor, I have to pick it up. Food-wise. Okay, let's see. Interesting. Okay, so what I do, these are going to be the D-rings. Oh, and I've got some fun edge paint to try out as well. I just got to find the tools that I use. Where are you at? Okay. Okay, so you're going to get to see me do some edge painting because... Okay, hang on. I got it. This is not going to do. Let's see what Turbo does. Okay. But yes, Hillary from Beauty and Geek sent me some top coat, some base coat, and then these really pretty colors. These top 3 are glitter, and the bottom 3 are matte shades, or just different shades, non-glitter, I guess. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to actually try to mix the purple, this lavender, with this kind of pinkish color. Maybe I'm going to see if it's actually red or pink, because it looks like it actually might be a deep pink, which would still work well for this. But it has the D-ring connector on it. And what I do is I just rough cut 2 chunks, and then I draw my D connector out. Oh, there's Mr. Boots out there. And I'm just going to trace along that outline with my sewing machine. I don't know why it wasn't there, but normally, this is the 1 inch. Normally what I do is I take the 3/4 inch one and I trace that one, and I use that as my stitch line. Because if I use this as my stitch line right now, then it's going to be too wide. So. And I just have these 2 pieces taped together. I have a slightly smaller stitch length so that I can go around these curves a little bit smoother. Oh, it's a little early for calls, people. Good morning, everyone that's joining us. I am doing a modified Aries by Knotted Threads. They have the measurements for everything that you need for the pattern to adjust the pattern, but you still have to have, come on, there we go. It's a good thing this is all in the back. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Okay, yep. Yeah, put on a 3. But you have to have the Aries bag pattern to still do the modified version. And Lauren has a couple of videos. She's got one of this as well as one where she makes a couple of like little wristlets using the shape of it. It's super cute. I'm using a bright pink thread, so I'm trying to kind of make sure that my stitching looks nice, because you can definitely see it. It's hot pink. Okay. I think I'm going to have a picky music day going on here. Okay, that's a little better. There's some days that no matter what, it takes forever for me to find the music that I really want to hear. Okay. Where are you at? This would have been a little bit easier too if I'd cut my threads a little bit longer. So I'm just going to kind of do a suture tie on these. Maybe. Actually. So this is already bothersome because of how short the threads are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them short because this is going to be like on the inside. You're really not going to see it. And then I'm going to melt them really well. Maybe. Keep forgetting I need a new lighter. And I use the metal part of the lighter to push down the threads, and then it just kind of melts it in. And that should hold it. If you're not sure if it's going to hold, you can put a dot of super glue. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that because, yeah. Where are you at? Again, this is on the other side. Keeping a little bottle of super glue is always a good idea. And this is a gel, so I'm just going to kind of put a little bit on there. And that will seep into the holes and keep that from moving. Do that on the other side. Ah! Try not to set my nails on fire. Okay. I'm actually going to put a little bit of dot there. Mostly it melded nicely into the plastic, but there's a little bit of a dry. Then I will need my cleaner and a... Oh, actually, there you are. My dried cloths. Just making sure I didn't miss any comments or any good mornings. Sorry, I don't know what it's doing. Okay, there we go. So I hope everyone's doing well. Let me see here. Okay. Actually, I'm going to carefully dry that because I just realized I want to cut this first. Where's my cart? Okay. You want to use your sharpest scissors, ones that you know are going to do nice stream cuts. I don't want to forget to change that. Okay. Oh, no, that's right. Okay. My stitch link was different than I normally use for construction. I just finished 2 bags yesterday. And I'm like, why is it at such a small stitch length? I hope I didn't sew the binding and stuff like that on those bags at such a short stitch length. And then I realized that I did that when I was putting the strap on. There we go. Ta-da! And now all your edges line up completely. There we go. Now it feels like Instagram can see too. All right, so that's one. And then I will take the cleaner and clean it off. I was like, wait, am I about to like wipe off my cutting line? I don't do a lot of edge coding. It is a very time consuming thing. Not that it does not make something heighten an item. There's just not a lot of things that I do that need or would benefit from edge coat, but I do use the edge coating when I do the Aries. First of all, it's only 3 pieces, so might as well. But mainly, it's because it just looks really nice. Why are my hands? Oh, I'm like, why are my fingers trying to stick together? Super glue. Ooh, donut. I don't know if I'm feeling these donuts today, but I need to eat something, so. There we go. There we are. I'm just going over the vinyl with this cleaner. Get rid of all those silver markings. The other thing is that a lot of times I don't want to use an absolute matching edge coat. I love an edge coat that has, that's probably why I ended up with glue on me, because I forgot that there was glue on the back of these. I'm not that smart this morning. Okay. That goes up there. Goes over there. I like using brighter colors, as you can tell. I love using contrast and really showing it off. Okay, so I have this contraption from Mojo Sews. I love it. It's got little hooks on it. Let's see, that's the top coat. This is the base coat. Give it a good shake. So, fun fact. I do what I call budget edge coating. The base I use is actually Free Check. It's from my lanes. And it's really good because it dries clear and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how using I guess an actual base coat. What is that? Oh, that's a scratch from my cat. Let's see how this goes. It's got a nice thickness to it. So that's what I'm definitely used to working with. We're going to try my little tool here. And we'll say I do not normally have much luck with this thing when it comes to putting on the color. So what your base coat really is doing is it's creating a barrier and a foundation for your paint to sit on. This way, the paint doesn't sink into the textiles. So look and see what that is all about. It's also kind of a bit of a glue. So it's going to take care of all those little pesky fabrics. Like this is a felted back vinyl, so it's got fuzzies. So it's nice and soft on one side. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's all I did was go around with the base coat first. One thing I really like about this pattern with Shannon, I'll put it up here, is the fact that in the pattern, when you're making this bag, she reminds you, hey, put a top coat on. Hey, put the next coat on. If you're doing more than one coat, you're going to want to do that, and that's kind of neat and very considerate of those that haven't been doing edge coating that long. Like I did a batch cut of these, and I did like 5 of them at once, so that meant that I had the choice of either doing it during or to just have them ready to go, which I did go ahead and get them all set up in between cutting. Because it was mainly by the time I was done with the last one, the first one was ready to have its next coat of whatever. And see, now there was a black line running down, and it just gives it a nice, it gives it a really nice foundation to sit on. Some people sand theirs. I don't. I haven't had to with my budget edge coating. I haven't had to do that, but we'll kind of see how this goes. I don't plan on sanding. I feels unnecessary, but that's me. Okay, so now I'm going to let those dry, and we're going to move on to our strap, because I like having that out of the way. I don't have Facebook on here. I don't know if it's logged in. Donuts are just falling apart here. Bear with me for just a moment. For a second, I thought that was Charlie. Oh, okay. Just checking a quick message. It seemed like it was urgent. It really wasn't, but I don't mind a quick moment to double check. I'll tell you right now, these are not the donuts I want. The donuts I want are at a place called Parlor Donuts, and they are like these really airy, fluffy, desserty style donuts. And there's a new cinnamon bun place that opened up here, and I'm like, I need y'all to stop, okay? Just go ahead and stop. I really want the fairies to bring back my corner cutter. Because now I'm having to cut my own corners instead of just punching it. I think my husband was just talking to the cats. Good, he gets to deal with him today. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit you. Alrighty. Okay, so those are drying. Let's do this and make sure. Yep. Got machine on, I got that. Sorry, I'm trying to keep everything in my mind set because I watched Lauren's video and I've got muscle memory on this bag, so I already have a good idea of what I'm doing. I just kind of have to remember everything because so with my straps, I just make a little 1 by, let's see, this is it's either 1 by 2.5 or 1 by 3 inch piece. And that's going to go around one of the swivel clips here and then attach onto the webbing. Donut. And then this other 1 by 1.25, 1.5. That is going to go on one end of the webbing right away. Just like that. There we go. I'm going to wrap that side around the bar of my slider. And I'm going to sew go. A little box. All right. Okay, so got that sewn on. Make sure that my strap, which I do mine at 60 inches, because that way it gives folks plenty of room to work with their strap. So with it not twisted, I'm going to put my clip on, pull that down, and then run that through my slide adjuster. The nice thing is this right here kind of helps a little bit so that it's not so easy to slide. So it's not slipping and sliding. Plus, this is Fat Rabbit Supply webbing, and it's not like slippery, which I may or may not have some Kirby webbing ordered, you know. Okay, so what I have is I'm pinching it close around. Oops, not close. Doggone it. Yeah, there we go. Don't pinch it all the way closed, but you're just making sure that they're even. The offspring over here. And that's so that I can put the webbing right up to the hardware. And then put, takes a little finesse. There we go. Okay. So the hardware is lying right up against the webbing. And I'm just going to sew around that. And this is definitely where I put my stitch length down a little bit. It is a construction stitch. So I do back stitch just a smidge. The smaller stitch length is so that I can make these curved edges look really nice. There we go. Come here, thread. I need to know where you are. Okay. There we go. Tiny curves when top stitching can be a little bit of a pain. There we go. Okay. And then our strap is done. So now we are good to go. So what I'm going to do is, because I've got one thing done from it, is I'm going to check my my base coat, and it's still a little damp, a little tacky to the touch. So I'm going to let it sit another step. So what I need to see is, what do I need to do next? Let's do that. Okay, so first of all, I've got my center marked down there. I don't really need it marked up here. So this is a drop-in lining that you're going to do with this modified bag. So on all of my pieces, I have them marked with the seam allowance that she said to have. And what that means is that when the bag is together, I'll put a piece of tape and then fold it over and then set the lining inside, stitch it around, and then it's done. This pattern is the Aries, but it is the modified version of it. There we go. Everybody can see. So the Aries usually has this shape, and then it has a zipper on 2 zippers and then a middle section inside. This modified version doesn't have the 2 zippered pockets. It just has the one main pocket. All right, now I need to see if I really am not happy that I cannot find that silly my corner punch has gone missing, so now I'm having to do like I used to do and ever so gently. There we go. That's not too bad. Boop. So at this point, so I am edge coating my D-ring or my strap connectors. Let's see. Yeah, they're still a little tacky. I will say that the way I do mine normally, it does dry very quickly, but we'll see how long it takes for that to dry. What am I doing? That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Ooh. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was up way too late last night. And then like we finally went to bed like 10:30. And I know that may not sound late to some of y'all, but I was also up at like 5 o'clock yesterday. So we're looking at now being up like 17 hours. I was tired. Very, very tired. And I finally I fell asleep, and then my phone started making this god awful racket, and it was because I was getting messages from my supplier, and I'm like so mad because I had just fallen asleep. I'm like, why? I'm so tired. Why did you do this to me? Just where are you at? I love Mormino rulers, but sometimes they're a little difficult to use. Here we go. I am not digging the music that I've got on right now, so that's going to have to get switched once I get that settled on. Okay. Bear with me. I am not awake enough for the Deftones. I love them. It's cool, but let's do that. That works. Okay, I've got a tiny stitch length, so that works. So needless to say, I'm exhausted this morning. So it's really fun right now too. Is this the, yeah, this is the nonstick. So I'm trying out some stuff for Hillary with Beauty and Geek. And I'm able to pretty much use all of it to test out in one bag. Because she sent me some edge coat to try out. There we go. And some different interfacings to try out. And some vinyl to try out. So I have, and she sent fleece. So I'm really happy because it's nice and soft and it adhered really well. So that was good. So far the base coat's going on nice. It's a good thick base coat. You don't want anything too thin because then you're just going to be putting on 4 or 5 coats to try to get come on, there you are. To try to get that foundation proper. And then I've got this beautiful pink vinyl. I love it. It's so pretty. It's very Chibi-Usa to me. I cannot believe I'm already going to need a nap. I am. Let me see if the coffee will help. Thank you so much. I do love the color combination. I'm using rose gold. So it's just all these different shades of pinks. And then on the other side, I put with some heat transfer vinyl, some glitter heat transfer vinyl. It says "Fight Like a Magical Girl." And I love how it came out. I just wanted one side to have a little bit of something zhuzhy. Oh, there's my other. Wondered where that went. I was trying to figure out where my other zipper chick went. Okay. Nope. There we are. So I'm putting my metal tag on. Here we go. I get these made overseas. I go through Bruce. He is on, it's either Alibaba or AliExpress. I can never remember. My mind kind of like mixes them up into one thing because I'm really bad with names. But if you search "so whatever" metal tag, you will find the post that Lauren did about it, and it's got the email address. There we go. So when I pulled my threads back, I didn't tie them off because all I'm going to do is keep them long and just wrap them around the prongs of my nameplate. I'm going to use a piece of paper tape to go over that. You can hear a Charlie crying. He just wants attention. Probably because Aaron must have gotten up. There we go. All right. So now we've got a pretty tag. Yeah. Yes, it kind of it gives it that extra zhuzh to it. So it's just a piece that goes around. I just figured out what the spacing that I wanted for it. And then I just stitch it down and then poke the holes through it and that. It helps it stand out, but I still make sure that it's not going to take away from the bag or the print. So I try to make sure that the placement looks good too. So that side is done. Let me see. Are you? And we have dry pieces. Nice. Okay, that didn't take too long. So you want to kind of go over with your finger, make sure that it's nice and smooth. Okay, this is really nice and smooth. It makes it pop. I do like that. Also, what you're kind of trying to feel for as well is to make sure that that it's settled into the cracks and that you don't have any weird bumps. That's where you would, I guess, want to sand it, but it feels really smooth to me. So let us see. The next thing to do when you're edge coating is to add your top coat, or not your top coat, your color coat. All right, let's see. So I think this pink might work. That is already extremely pretty. Trying to decide if I want to use this lilac to try to lighten it up a little bit. I really should have a pepper pot if I'm going to do this, but instead I'm just going to be a little janky and just mix it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that. And I'm going to take from the lid. That's the really cool thing about edge coat paint is that you can usually mix it. See, and I don't really care for this because it looks like it's just dispersing the glitter. So I think if I wanted like a more purple, I would just add one of the blues into it. I think that's going to look nice anyway. So I'm going to clean this up because otherwise I will end up putting my arm into it. Where are you going? Okay. Well, that's good to know. Oh, I know. Boop. I do not know where that went, so I do not want to boot that away. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to close up that one because I plan on doing another modified just to make sure I like the modified version of this. It seems to just take away from the glitter. There we go. Okay, so this is my first time working with a glitter one, and I'm already seeing that when it's spread, it's just kind of like a little bit like glitter glue. There we go. Okay, so then I need my other tool. Where are you at? This is what I usually use when I do edge coating. Actually, I don't think this is the tool I use. I mean, this is nice and thick, but it looks like you have to put on like a bunch of coats. All right. Well, yeah, see, it's already like scraping off. There we go. That's the other thing, is that I'm kind of too impatient for some edge coating. I'm gonna make this work though. There we go. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do like 2 coats. Because to get the color, you kind of have to dab it on. But then it's not as smooth, so I'm going to have to do a couple of coats probably. That's fine. With my budget edge coating that I do, I don't have to put that many coats on. Also trying not to make a mess here. Okay, so there we go. It's okay. Where are you at? Here we go. I'm curious if I had done like a solid color and then done this over it, if that would have worked better too. But I think I'm just going to end up doing multiple coats of this. But it looks like it's going to dry pretty quickly. Got me. Okay, we're going to try that and see how that works. I think as long as the tool doesn't scrape, it does really well. But yeah, if it scrapes it, then it just kind of wipes it all off. Okay, let's see how that goes. Yeah, when I did a Sailor Mars bag, this would have been a good edge coat. So I'm going to close that up and set that aside. Clean off my tools, because if I don't, I will regret that. In fact, I might have to go get a little bit of water. Don't mind me. Okay, so that'll do for now. That will do. Now, what do I want to do next? Because there are my panels. That's what I need to do next, is putting together the gussets. So that's that gusset. And here we go. Okay, so we'll put together the gusset real quick. Because this bag usually has quite a few, I say quite a few. It usually has a few more steps to it. Good morning, Mila. No, this morning I'm working on a modified Aries. I got some edge coat paint to try out for Hillary at Beauty and Geek. Is that 3/8? That seems like wide. Why did I do that? So I was edge painting the connectors for it, but this is the modified Aries, so it doesn't have the 2 zippers. It just has the one open the one area of the one compartment. There we go. Good Lord. Words are very hard today. There it is. I was like, where's my marking? Okay. So actually, I'm trying out quite a few things. A new vinyl, which is very domestic friendly, if you ask me. It's soft on. It's got that fleece back, but it's thin. So I mean, even folded up 4, that's not too bad. And that is one of the reasons why I don't always edge coat a lot of stuff. Because yes, you are correct. When you edge coat, it does take more time, and with that, your price has to go up because, of course, your time is being used. The nice thing is with the Aries, I don't really mind edge coating because it's kind of during the process of making the bag. So it's not too big a deal to do so. Really? Didn't want to catch that at all, huh? There we go. And I do what I call budget edge coating, where it really doesn't take me that long to do it because the materials I use are usually dry faster. Um, like for a top coat, or I'm sorry, a base coat, I use I use this Stop Fraying by Aline. And that seems to work really well because I just apply it using the bottle. That's why it felt weird to apply it like that. But Hillary's got these really pretty colors she sent me. These 3 are glitter, and then these are solid colors. So we'll see how it dries. But it does look like I'm going to have to do a second coat on the glitter, especially because I just touched it. There you are. So now I'm going to have glitter everywhere. Story of my life. So I have put together the upper gusset and the lower gusset. I've used Stop Fray for it, like not Fray Check, but Stop Fray, and I have had absolutely no problems with it. Anytime I move into a new foray of a craft or something, I try to find an inexpensive way to try it out because this way, if it's other way, if it doesn't feel like it's working for me, then this way I didn't spend, hundreds of dollars on something. I'm also a big researcher of anything over $50. What are you doing? Hey, good morning, little man. What are you doing? Okay, go see your father, I guess. And I got my Stop Fray on Amazon. So what Shannon has you do is so that it sits a little bit more even in your sides. You clip right here and you push the middle up behind your top gusset piece. and then you push the little pieces under. And then what you do is you start sewing on the side where those little pieces are pushed down. That way you can backstitch there. I know my bobbin's going to run out really soon. And then you just top stitch along your vinyl or your upper. You just have to be wary of when you're top stitching across your gusset, the top, your upper gusset, that everything's sitting the same way, because those pieces are going to want to create a different texture and look. Good news is that's all in the seam allowance, so you won't really see that. There we go. Whew. Okay, so now my gusset is done for the inside. Oh no, that's okay, Mila. Oh, I didn't want to say that. This is actually Shannon's modified version of the Aries, and mainly what it is it's doing no side, or no, the two outside zipper pockets. It's eliminating those to where it's kind of like just a baguette bag where it's got the one open section. Good morning, Sierra. How are you? Oh, let me mark my centers. So, like on the Aries, you normally would sew this gusset to your outside gusset. You're not going to do that this time. Making sure you're making two separate pieces at this point. See how, and I want to see how well that works, because if I like the way it comes out, then that's going to be another batch sew bag I'm going to do here. So I'm clipping my centers. Now I'm going to check my, nope. I'm so impatient about, there you go. Okay. I have to post a video of the finish because my brain isn't working. Believe me, Mila, my brain isn't working either. I don't know what's going on. I was trying to think if I had one of the bags. You know what? Ba, 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 ba. Just a second while I get it. I'm gonna need those. Come on, you. Because she does have a picture in the of the finished one. So, okay. So see how it's got the two zippers here? With the modified one, there are no zippers. It's just one inside pocket with a zipper placket on top. Yeah, I see. I love bottle of them. I definitely understand that. Somebody, me, stayed up way too late drawing on her iPad. But I love the shape of the Aries so much. I think it's so stinking cute. There we go. Also, with that is this really interesting way to do the yeah, words, Mila. Sometimes, with me, words are not always the best. Okay, so yeah, 12 or 13-inch zipper would be good. So there's a really interesting way to do the zipper panels. Oh, that should be good. So instead of having 4 pieces, it's 2 pieces. The machine I use, this is Tiberius. He is a New Tech GS0303. I love him. I wish the experience of buying him would have been a little bit easier. It was not, but that's okay. Things happen. Oh god, yeah, this is going to be fun with a very low fueled. Oh, no, it's just not all the way up. Okay, that might help. All right, so I've got my zipper tape. I've got my 2 full panels. On the back, I have marked where I'm going to be folding up, which I think is what I do next. It's over. It's time I forward again. All right, come on, you. So if you've done a recessed zipper, you know that normally you have 4 pieces that you then fold the ends in and sew together as such. This is really interesting. And we're going to see how we like this. We being me. Have gone out the window. Okay, so all the measurements and everything for the modifications are on her Facebook group. Lauren Mormino also has a cutting video as well as a sewing video. The cutting video is very helpful because it lets you know what pieces you're going to need versus what pieces you don't need. The inside is pretty much just one compartment. I thought about adding a slip, and Lauren did. It just feels like the slip would be awkward, but that's why I'm making it like this first to see if I want to add anything to it. Because I'm thinking, honestly, putting a zipper pocket on one side of it with an overlay would be really cool. So if I like how this comes together, then I might go ahead and try that out. I'm going to see about that too, because I might have to make some adjustments. I don't like a super tight gusset. I don't like having to fight. It feels like it pulls at the threads, but that's purely me. Come on, you. I also don't like making my job harder. I don't like adding trials and tribulations. Okay, so for each placket, I've got it folded over. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Ooh, I mean, this chair are not friends today. So you mark your middle. And we're going to flip it back over. What I do with any type of printed zipper is for this, I'm actually just going to pick which side's going to be my top. That's going to be folded over. And then I go towards the bottom. And I make sure that I have a mark. And that's what I'm going to use to line back up my zipper so that the image lines back up. Okay, is that my straight edge? That's my straight edge. And then trying to remember how she said she does this. I've got a clip. And then, yep. Okay, after I get the zipper prepared, I can then add another coat of, otherwise I will forget. In fact, what's really great is I've got a little bit of the glitter on my finger, and that's what's kind of reminding me. Yeah, I think in it, a zipper, like a cute little just extra zipper pocket on the outside would be nice. And you could even have it to where you wear that against your hip. Okay, so normally I do this, but I think she did. Yeah. Okay, so I don't like that at all. It feels like I'm fighting with it. Okay, so I'm just going to do my normal, which is I pull down and tuck. Okay. It is so hard to show how this is done and actually get it. So I put my finger down on the back and I kind of fold it back. And then I fold the teeth over to line up with my finger. And then I push that all together and tuck it under the teeth. See? Okay. Normally I use tape and glue, or I used to, but now I melt it. Oh, dear God. The flame was a little higher than I was expecting because it's been like itty bitty. So we're just going to pull that down a skosh because I don't want to burn my nails. What you kind of want to do is like touch it enough to where it melts and then squish it. Yep. Let's see. And now it'll stay now because I have trust issues. I'm just going to clip that just so that it kind of stays. In fact, with it clipped now, what I can do is kind of straighten that zipper out. There we go. Recessed zipper panels are a skill that you acquire by practicing and understanding you are going to have some ugly ones. It's okay. Everybody's made an ugly recessed zipper panel. You are not alone in that. There was one that I made that was so bad that I put it aside and went, I will deal with you later. Because it was just not great. Now I'm right-handed. Actually, I'm slightly ambidextrous, but I'm dominantly right-handed. So the right-handed one, always easy for me. It's this left one that, if you're an artist and you draw, you know that no matter what, that you're going to have that one perfect eye, and then you're going to go draw the other one, and it's going to be looking off in the other direction, or just not as good. So what I have found is that I have that right there, and I'm doing this without my zipper pull on because I find it just so much easier. So I'm going to pull down my teeth until they match. So see, so all I did was pull down my teeth so that they match the other teeth and then push up, because it's going to generally want to do that anyways. Now comes the fun part. I'm going to try, because this wasn't the hard part. Getting into matchup really isn't the hard part. It's getting it to actually stay how I had it looking. So what we're going to do is we're going to melt part of that and go ahead and get that sticking. So now see how it's kind of clipped together a little bit, melted. This is going to help me. There we go. Now, I also have very good zipper scissors, gardening scissors. These are the best things for zippers. Now, I'm not just clipping, I'm going to actually use the scissors to push it to where it's lined up with it and then clip it. Let's see. Again, it is quite the challenge. Come on, you. See, the biggest problem is that it just won't want to stay, and you're gonna it takes a hot second. Okay, let me do this. All right, y'all keep good vibes going for my nails, because sometimes I get to the point where I'm like, I'm done playing with the zipper. And that's when my nails sometimes suffer. Okay. Speaking of being done with the zipper, I am bound and determined to get this zipper okay. So I put a touch of super glue because I'm kind of done fighting with it. Good morning. I am making the modified Aries bag from Knotted Threads. It is a pattern. You have to have the regular. Come on, you. What I'm making is a freaking mess of this zipper because it does not want to cooperate with me. That hurts a little bit. Yeah, the Aries is a crossbody bag from Knotted Threads. It is an adorable bag, usually with 2 zipper pockets, and then in between the zipper pockets is an open compartment. This modification is taking off the outside zipper pockets. That's going to be interesting to get off my fingers later. But here we go. Ta-da! That only took way longer than I wanted to. So that's going to sit for a hot second and think about what it's done. And I'm going to do another coat of the glitter. Oh, for the love of Pete. There we go. So now I'm going to do another layer of edge coat paint. I am not really a fan of the glitter because it's going to take at least another coat. It's like when you put glitter nail polish on, how you have to put all those coats because the glitter just kind of gets pushed around in the viscous matter that is and if you put it on and then if you kind of glob it a little bit and then use the roller part to smooth it out, that seems to work. I think I just like solid colors better, probably. Where are you at? Oh, that might be why, though. It's fine. Here we go. Okay. It's going on a little bit better. See, I'm used to putting like thinner coats of what I use. So, but that's because I use acrylic leather paint. And that seems to work nicely for me. And anybody that edge coats, try not to let them make you feel like your product is ever less than because you don't use an edge coat. If you decide not to edge coat because you're looking at the cost of your time and materials, that's perfectly okay. You make those choices. I was a little upset at a post because somebody asked what was the difference between having a removable, like, see, that looks much better. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm just being impatient. It happens. My grandmother used to say that when God was handing out patience, I got a sweater. Wasn't even a cute sweater either. Oop, come on, you. Oh, yes. Somebody told me once, they're like, you know, that's not going to make it better. I said, it makes me feel better. So, yeah. Oh, but yes, there was a post asking about, what the difference is between using a removable strap and one that you permanently put on. And the first comment was, well, I think a swivel one makes it look more professional and less homemade. Little orange kitty cat. And I don't know, maybe I just read it in a snotty voice in my mind, but it just came off very defeatist. What could have been better was I prefer to do removable straps because I have an idea of what I want my bags to look like. I do removable straps on bags that have a higher price point. My smaller ones, like my itty bitty bowlers, I permanently have those on there because I'm trying to save my customers the cost of that extra hardware, because that's an extra $6 in hardware at least, and that's for me getting it in bulk. How neat. So if I can take that cost off of it, that's the difference between it being a $75 bag and an $85, $90 bag. And putting on a permanent strap is not the easiest thing to do sometimes either. There we go. So, if you've ever done a recessed zippers, normally, like I said, you have four. But the way Shannon has you do them is it's two longer pieces folded in on each end. We fought with the zipper. We came out victorious, wounded but victorious. We're going to put a piece of tape. We mark the center, and I'm going to put a piece of tape. Make sure you put the tape. This is why I've got them lined up like this too. That you've got them lined up so that you're putting the tape on the proper sides. Well, and exactly, if you love the bag, it's not going to matter if the strap is removable. It just matters if it's adjustable. And that's what you really want to make sure, is that the straps are adjustable, because everybody is different sizes, shapes, and everything. So having an adjustable strap makes it easier for somebody to use a bag that they've fallen in love with. I also tell my customers if they like the strap. Oh, I guess that was the end of that call. If they like the strap, uh, they can send me back the strap itself. Just cut it off the bag at a certain. I'll tell them where to cut. I tell them where to cut it off at. They send it back, and I subtract the cost of the strap from the bag that they're ordering. This way, we're reusing a strap that they loved. Exactly. I had a customer that was like, I love the bag, but the strap feels tight. I'm like, send me the strap. Let me know what would be comfortable. I will figure it out for you. That is not a problem. So I have marked my back because I don't put my zipper pull on when I do recessed zippers. I completely take it apart. It helps in the long run a lot. All right, so I'm going to move that placket out of the way. Make sure I have the right. Yep. Okay, so we're going to remove the tape. And then we're going to put the edge of the zipper right up against that halfway mark. Maybe. Come on. Oh, I'm like, what is that? A crumb from my donuts. Make sure that everything's lined up on the edges nicely. I also usually mark where the end of the zipper is going to sit so that I have that reference on the other side of my panel. There we go. Okay, so remember, it's halfway down from it. Okay, dokie. And now we're going to do the other side the same way. Splitting your zipper like this also means that you can do them both at the same time. There we go. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold that in half. And clip that together. Okay. And then clip it. Do the same to the other side. Yeah, I don't actually even put on the zipper pull until the bag is like completely done and I'm going to add my zipper end. Okay. Now the other thing I do is I make sure that there's the same amount of space between the zipper and that mid. Hey, Desiree, I'm sorry, I just saw you over on YouTube. Yeah, edge painting can be challenging. Once you kind of get in the groove of it, it's not so bad, but then there's the thought process of if it doesn't bring me joy, why am I doing it? I do get a little weary of people going, but it makes it look so professional. I am a professional already, so technically everything I do is professional. hectically. Okay. So I believe you're supposed to go at 3/8. I do not do 3/8 on my zippers. I want to be able to see the zipper, and my machine does not let me get that close without changing a foot, and I'm not changing a foot. Why do I have 1,000 pins open up on my desk here? After I get the plackets done, I can then do another top coat. So I'm being careful to definitely backstitch gently over the beginning of the zipper. And to not go past the zipper panels at the end. I love this song. I'm finally scared now. I think I'm weak. I think you're wrong. Okay, so here comes the fun. This is, I will say, I do think this is a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do, let's listen to my cat whine at my husband in the other room. I'm going to cut at an angle right here up to where the zipper is, the end, and then cut that corner. Okay. But I'm not cutting my zipper tape. And yes, you probably could cut your teeth and then just like melt it a little bit more, but there really isn't any reason to do so. It's not a metal zipper. It's not going to be that much of a deterrent to sew over. How long have I been sewing? Okay, so technically I've been sewing since I was 8 years old. My grandmother taught me. I've also been baking about that long too. I was not allowed to have one of the little kitty pretend sewing machines or an easy bake oven because in my grandmother's words, there was a perfectly good large sewing machine in the other room as well as a perfectly good oven. If I want to bake, I'm going to learn how to bake right. I did do costuming for a couple of friends that did a Renaissance circuit. I did that for about 5 years when I was living in Ohio. Megan did Queen Elizabeth, and she had particular tastes. And let me tell you, I am very happy not to be sewing brocade anymore because it is quite the challenge. Even after sewing it for 5 years, there were still times when I'm like, I don't know why you pick these fabrics, but okay. But I started, and then I stopped sewing and became trained as a pastry chef. And that was about 8 or 9 years, almost 10 actually, of that. Then I started sewing again, and I sewed this bag from Simplicity with some really cute fabric and was like, oh, I like this. So that was in 2016. So I'm at 8 years of bag sewing, and it is, I feel like I am constantly learning new tricks, new ways. One live just a little bit ago. It'll be on my YouTube. I sewed a bag that I cut like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was definitely a different experience because of all the different ways I make that bag now. Well, you know what? I think I do like this method. So the short answer, bag sewing for about 8 years. So there's how that placket looks. So like I said, I trimmed off that edge there, and that's how I have that nice edge there. So when you turn it out, you want to go ahead and use your zipper and pull at it, because the thing is this is where you're going to test the strength of this zipper. If it, pops out, then something didn't get stitched properly, and you don't want to find that out later. And if you're selling your bags, you don't want the customer to find that out. Okay, so yep, flip that out. Now I'm just kind of matching up the seams, running my nail along the zipper to straighten it out a little bit. But honestly, be very honest, I'm not unhappy with how this looks. It feels a little easier. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it top stitches up. I mean, it might be a woe-hoss kind of situation here. I have to look that phrasing up. And we are good to match. I'm very happy. Now that is the challenge in doing a printed zipper with this technique, the way I do it, because you could have a chance to where your zipper matches up, but it only matches up if it's all the way up here. So that's why I was so adamant about making sure I made this the same length and then marked the back of the zipper where it was going to stop on each. Whew. All right. Oh, I'm going to let that sit for a second because I think I'm going to do one more coat. Part of it's dry. So I really want to do one more coat. I just want to make sure that you're not seeing underneath. Like with this glitter, I definitely recommend, if you're not wanting to do 3 coats of the edge coating with it, I do recommend doing an undercoat, doing a solid color under it. And then putting it over. Because I feel like I would have been much happier in that case if I had done maybe a red or a pink under it. It just would have meant that I didn't have to do, 3 coats of it. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I'm so particular. Let's do this. Oh, there we go. I'm so particular that it... Oh, that one's not dry, though. It also kind of dries a little bit unevenly. I don't think this one needs another coat everywhere, so. Okay, that's good. All right. I have to. Oh, I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm like, I might have to go wash this off. Where's my little bottle? Oh, I changed carts, so now I'm like, okay. I'm just using some of my cleaner to get more of that glitter off. But okay. Oh Lord. I'm not used to, like, these are the paints I use. These are acrylic leather paints. And they work really well. I have had no issues with them because they're a leather paint. You just have to be careful. Like if you use a regular acrylic paint, it might have a cracking after a while. Okay. Back to this. So I'm trying to make sure that that is nice and even there. So, come on. What am I looking at? Yep, right. So I'm starting on the corner. Now, when I get down to the area where we've got those folded edges in, I really should have clipped those a bit. I will remember that for next time, but I'm going to use my hump jumper to go up that hill. And then I'm going to use it in front just to kind of keep the back of my foot from catching on this corner here. Yep, you can. Okay. And then once I'm out of that zone, I can just pull that hump jumper out. And this is pretty much just basting this together. I'm gonna need that hump jumper again in a moment. Okay, so on this side, I'm starting at the bottom though. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if that's how I want to go. No, yeah, I'm going to start at the top like I did on the other one. It's mainly so the zipper is pushed in the same direction that it was on the other panel. Oh, I guess that's on the floor forever. So what I'm going to do here is I have that hill. I'm going to use my hump jumper. And that's going to get me there. And then I'm going to put it right behind where my starting is. Maybe. There we go. Okay, as I'm getting to that hill, put my jumper underneath. There we go. Okay. This vinyl from Beauty and Geek that I'm trying out, it does have a little bit of stretch. So with that, you want to make sure that you take that into consideration, that you're not stretching it in any weird ways, like you might with a cotton that's not interfaced. Okay. All right, so we've got that panel. Bam, panels. All righty. Now I'm going to mark my centers. Okay, so I've got my centers marked. Now what I'm going to do, I was trying to get my dang knee to pop. All right, so there are my lowers and my uppers. So what I did is at the table, I went ahead and marked my seam for what's going to be folded over. I do not like marking a seam when I've already sewn everything together. It does not make it any easier. I would go ahead and put the tape on, but that's ends up being a bit of a kerfunkled moment too. So we are going to mark our centers on everything because for some reason I didn't on here. And I'm going to let those pretty much finish drying, the D-rings. I'm going to let those finish drying most of the way until it's just about done. And then I'll put a top coat on and then let that dry. I want to make sure that glitter is really good and dry. Let's put... Let's put be a warrior, not a worrier. Okay. So what we're going to do is you want your bottom lining face up. You want your zipper panel face up. And you're going to match up those centers. So I match up my centers. And then I pull over here. I put a clip. And then over here, making sure you don't want to like stretch it. You just want it to lay flat. Okay. I think I'm supposed to do 3/8. Okay, I'll draw that in. With the tags, these are from Sewing Blurbs. one of the first gifts I got was this little acrylic template. And it shows like if you have a certain seam allowance, when you have a certain seam allowance, you want to pick one of these lines to put it up against. So I'm doing 3/8. That means that I want to make sure, because the little pink line means that that should be seen. So I'm going to put it, because if I do 3/8, it's going to be there. So I need to put it just down just a smidge. I'll put it on the other side. Okay, there's that one. I'm just marking my seams so that I don't have to try to guess at it. Clears my head a little bit too. Okay. See, I know now because of the seam template that if I put this all the way to the top, it's going to cut off the BA part. So I want to make sure that it's down about 1/4 of an inch, or at least 1/8 of an inch. That way it's going to show the whole thing and not get cut off. And that's why I like this template. I believe they sell them on their website. Okay, so I've got face up, and now we're going to go face down. And we're going to make sure that everything lines up nicely. Okay. I guess I'll take a bite of one of my donuts. Okay. So the other side, I've got my tag face up for my placket, my zipper panel. Okay. And then face down for my top piece. You can baste or use tape for putting your panel down first so that it doesn't move. I just genuinely clip it together and it seems to be okay for me. Okay. Sew this together. Donut's trying to take me out. Okay. Well, that was uncomfortable for a moment. Just double checking, making sure I didn't miss any comments. Good morning to those joining us. I don't know why I say us. It's not like I'm many people. Just so you know, this is a lot of layers, so you want to take that into consideration. And at the end, you might need that hump jumper again to kind of get down that aisle, or that. There we go. Okay, so that's one side. If you're not sure that your plackets are on right, just put them together, and if your tails are coming out the right way, both the same way, then you're fine. Doing your zipper panels, your recessed zippers this way, you will find it easier once you get used to it. It does take some time to get used to putting the zipper on and separating it like that. Here, there we go. Excuse me, goodness. Okay. I don't know why I pulled those out like that, but so with most zipper panels, you just push up and the zipper panel stays down. In this case, what you're doing is having a donut try to take you out. Donut assassin. So what you're actually doing is you're taking all of your seams and you're pushing it behind the lower. Now make sure that when you do that, that you push down your woven label if you have it there. So we're just going to top stitch across that. Okay, there's one. And now we're going to do the second one. Okay, so we've got those taken care of. There we go. So, ta-da! So those will stick together like that. But they'll kind of push up a little bit because we top stitched underneath. So it's what Lauren calls a perky recessed zipper panel, which I like the term. You either have perky or depressed. Yeah, and I like that. Okay, so that part is done. Now, what did I do with it? There it is. Oh, we get the fun of putting together putting the gusset in. So. I like having the lining done before I do the outside. I don't know why. It's just really, I did those. It's just a preference for me. It just feels like when the lining's done, when the outside's done, I just want to be almost done. And that's probably because I've conditioned myself to think that way. So I am matching up my seams. And then clipping my middles. So now I have my bottom mid matched or clipped. This is also going to give me a good idea at how the gusset's going to fit on the outside. And I should be able to make some adjustments then. So I take my zipper that's loose and I just clip it against itself. But I fold it inward so it's wrong sides because that's going to be the way it's going to want to fold. So I've clipped a little to the bottom. All right, I'm going to clip the sides. Should be able to match up your seams pretty nicely. I say should because I will say this is the first time I've made an Aries and my seams matched up. I don't know why, but when I make the Aries normally, I just never can get it to match up, and I just stopped worrying about it. Okay, so it is going to be tight. So I'm going to clip my gusset a little. Ooh, that was a little more than I should. And I'm actually not going to clip it. I want to see if it works a little bit better when I just push it where I want it to be. So we're going to try that out. I don't know if it's going to work, but here we go. I would take a bite of like donut to kind of give me some extra oomph for getting through this part. But man, that donut keeps trying to kill me. Okay, so I'm going to use what I call a tacking seam allowance. So I'm going in at 1/4 inch. I'm going to use that to kind of tack it down. Okay, so far so good. And then I'm going to go back around at honestly for this, I'm probably going to go back around at another 1/4 inch from from the tacking, so that it has a 1/2 inch seam allowance except for the top. Because you always want your top to be the same as seam if you're putting bags together. Come on, you. There we go. My clips out of the way. Make sure that that the bobbin hasn't taken me down. Yeah. Oh, there's the end of my bobbin right there. Bobbin didn't get me this time. Okay, anyways. He almost did. It took pity on me. Go ahead and change that out. There we are. Take a look inside, make sure that I like how it's placed. Well, at least one side lines up. Yeah, this is way tighter of a gusset than I like. So I'm just going back around to give it its true seam allowance. Sort of. Okay. So I'm going to cut I'm cutting right here so that when I fold down my top, I can open that up and fold it down. What are we winning, Mila? I was going to say chicken dinner, but then I don't know what I am doing for dinner tonight. Don't have quite that many of those. All right, so let me put that over there. Put those up there. That stays there. Yeah, that's not too bad. That'll look nice. There is a little bit of puckering, but that's also going to go away here in a second. I have taking shears that I'll definitely use on the vinyl on the outside, but this is fine for the inside. As long as I don't cut anything. Okay. All right, so far so good. Let's put the other side on and then we'll do the out. Bobbin chicken. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's been a while since I won bobbin chicken. And you can usually tell when your bobbin's starting to get close because it'll do that. It'll do a lot of curling, especially if you have a bobbin winder like I do that does a nice tight wind. I was like, what did I win? Okay, let's see if I can get this to stay matched. Because it stayed matched on one side. See? But on the other side, it moved because I had to adjust it to fit properly, which is infuriating, to say the least. Okay. Every once in a while, I just hear a because it's the 3D printer's working. Hopefully, it's working. Yeah, it's some little bit of trouble with it. All right. That's probably what I'm going to do. Again, I don't care for a tight gusset. So we're going to see how well this one works. Come on. The other side's usually a little challenging too. So what I do when I'm starting out on this side is I make sure they're lined up, and then I put a clip up top. So I'm not having to fight to keep them together when I start sewing. And again, I'm going to do a tacking stitch. Make sure everything is copacetic. So you can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay. There we go. A couple of times I've almost sewn over my screwdriver. That might end the live real quick. Okay. That time it wasn't too bad. All right. That wasn't too bad this time. Now we just got to go back around again. No, that's not going to work. So, I saw that what Lauren did when she did the outside is she also top stitched the gusset down around the outside. I'm not going to be doing that. I don't have a cylinder machine, and doing one side won't be too hard. Doing the other side would be almost impossible. So I'm definitely not going to be doing that. I already add enough work to my plate as it is. All right. So that is our lining. Ta-da! All right, so let me trim this down and clip where I need it to clip. So like I said, I'm clipping right under or right at where I'm folding down to, and then I'm going to try not to cut everything. I'm going to cut down my seam. This will help it'll relax a little bit. But this tack line is definitely how I'm doing the outside, because I want to make sure that that vinyl has that extra stability of the second set of stitches. Okay. Boop. So now we have that little. And see, that's how it'll look on the inside when you open it, go to open the zipper. So I like that. I like when the zipper panel matches the top. Oh, I guess I could go ahead and put the tape around. Let me see. Dang, do I need to order tape again? Okay. So I'm running double-sided tape, 1/4 inch length or width. Along the line that I drew earlier. Because see how hard it would be to draw that line here? If you do it before when you're at the cutting table, then it's not going to be so difficult. Thank you, Mila. I appreciate it. Trying to decide if there's a slightly different way I can do the drop-in so that I'm top stitching with without my bobbin stitch being on the outside of the bag. So normally with a drop-in, you fold over and then you set your lining inside, hence drop-in. And then you have to figure out how, you have to decide, am I going to sew on the inside so that it's easier? If I had, you know, a cylinder machine or a domestic that I could take the arm off, then it wouldn't be too big of a deal, because then I could just go along the outside. It's a little bit more difficult with a small bag and this machine because things like to shift. So what I'm trying to decide is, can I turn this inside out and then drop in? My brain's trying to get the image to work in my head, but it's not really working. So it's like, well, crackers. I'm just thinking. Y'all know me. I just think aloud sometimes. Okay. So I'm going to try to go ahead and get this. Okay. So I'm opening that up. I'm going to take. Where are you at? There you are. Nope. So when I press open the side seams, it's not going to have that tape there. So I'm just putting a little piece of tape, see? Because when I press open the seam, and now I've got where that tape isn't there. And that's why I put a little piece there. Okay. Uh, this is always a, some folks don't like. I mean, you probably could make this a birth bag. It wouldn't be that difficult to do. You either add a pocket where you can turn it, or you just, have the inside seam. Because this is such a thinner vinyl, it's a little more challenging, but I'm glad I'm using a thin vinyl for this for the first time making the bag this way, because it means it'll be a little bit easier to sew through. Come on, you. My apologies. This does take a bit of concentration because it's not like it's not an easy shape. Because it's got the angles on it. Come on, you. There we go. Come on, you. And what I'll have to do is squish the side seams because they are definitely bulky. What also might help is to mark your centers all the way up, like draw a line centering on your top. That way, it's going straight down. Yeah, because this has a little bit of a stretch, I'm having to use that to accommodate placement as well as fight a little bit against it. Okay. Whew. And again, that's because this is a thin vinyl here. So it can be a little troublesome. Okay, so that's it so far. That's our lining. What time is it? It is 5 till 11. We're not doing too bad. Alrighty. Because now we just got to do this. Okay. Now, this is going to be fun. I'm going to go ahead and do Fight Like a Girl panel first. So pretty much what we just did with the interior, we're just going to put on our gusset. Alrighty. And I'm going to go ahead. Yeah, I definitely do not like how short this gusset is. Hang on just a second. Come here, book. Okay. Okay. Bear with me for just a moment. I have to make these notes as I'm thinking of them. Okay. If I don't make the note now, I'm going to forget. And so far, I just don't like the length of the gusset, and that's an easy fix. And we're going to hide part of it in the seam, I think. So I will say, so this is the fleece from Beauty and Geek as well. And it's nice to have a fleece that actually stays adhered to the gusset, because the gusset's going to get manipulated a lot. And it's not, it's not coming off or bending up. Hi, Nicole. I am making a modified version of the Aries crossbody bag from Knotted Threads. Shannon, the creator of the Aries pattern, came out with a modified version of the Aries. So I decided that I wanted to see how I liked making that one. We gotta. Okay, that's not too bad. So I've already got the the middle done. As I flick these dang things at me. It's going to be an afternoon of picking up clips, I see. Okay, that's not too bad. So what did I do here? Now, because I don't like that tight of a gusset, I am adjusting. So I'm putting my gusset a little lower than the top. What I'll do is that just means that I'll match up this seam for my fold over versus the seam I have drawn on here, which I think is too big anyways. And I can fix that right now. Because that looks like that's an inch, which isn't right. There we go. There we go. Okay. And see, I can get away with this type of adjustment on the outside because I'm not trying to match up any seams really, like I was on the inside. I can save you, I can take you away from here. On the inside, so big and out there. Okay, there we go. So I clip on the top here so that when I pull this off and I'm sewing, this doesn't shift. All right, I'm gonna clip into my curve here to help it shift the way I want it to. If you want to, we can save you. I can take you away from here. Inside, so busy out there, and all you wanted was somebody to. There we go. Okay, so But that's another reason why I do the inside. So I already knew I was going to have to adjust out here for my gusset because I did my lining first. So with that, now I know I have a full bobbin. I will mark that when I'm done. I'm going to do my tacking. So the seam allowance for the bag is 3/8. I'm going to actually start at 1/4 of an inch and go around. And that way, I can do a second line of stitching 1/8 away from my 1/4 inch seam and get my 3/8 as well as securing and helping to stabilize the vinyl with that second row of stitching. Ooh, where are you going? So I'm very careful to make sure that my seam is still a nice seam. Like it's still a nice straight line, because I'm going to be using that as my basis for my true seam allowance. Oh, and Nicole, I do also tape this on YouTube. So I'm also broadcasting live on YouTube right now. And what that means is you can go back and re-watch anything that you need to see, or if you missed anything, you're able to kind of take a look at that too. Nope. Alrighty, so let's take a look. I want to make sure that that looks all right so far. Nice. Ta-da. Look at that. Alrighty. Okay, so first I want to do one other thing before I do my true seam allowance. So I'm lining up my ruler with the top of the farthest seam and then redrawing a true fold over line for the for the drop-in lining. Move those over there for right now. Actually, we're going to move those over here. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to go back in at 3/8. So I'm just going to follow my 1/4 inch line at 1/8. I'm just making sure that I don't end up accidentally creating pinching going around those curves a second time. Okay. So I'm clipping so that I'll be able to go to fold that out. And then I'm going to get my pinking shears. Doop. It is Sailor Moon. And inside it says, "Fight like a magical girl." I wanted to have something a little extra on one side at least. Now I'm just using my pinking shears on the curves to help them. And any other cutting, I'm just going to use regular scissors because this is a thick vinyl. So it hurts my hands to use the pinking shears on too thick of a material. Plus, it's not good for the scissors either. There we go. Ah, yeah, see, it's all their wands. You know, I'm going to take a quick moment and I'm going to put the top coat on these now. Because I think, yep, that feels nice and dry. Okay, let's see how that works. What I like to do too is I like to bend it because you want to make sure that when you're bending it that it's not going to crack. Oh. Nice. Okay, let me get that. Just wrapped everything up so nicely and secure so that it didn't get on any of the vinyl if it did spill. Give it a little shake. Shake, 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 shake. Okay. Ooh. That is a thick top coat. All right, let's see how this goes. Now it's going to give it a milky appearance, but it should dry clear. See how it's kind of milky? Okay, let me get the other one. That is a very thick top coat. I'm used to a much thinner top coat. Please don't go away. So I know I don't have an allergy to this because the moment, not this one, but to most paints, most of these paints, what I do is I do a small allergy test, kind of the way you're supposed to do with like hair dye. And if you didn't know that, then yep, it is in the instructions that you are supposed to do an allergy test and a strand test. Okay, so I'm gonna have to scrub that because there's just glitter all in the crevices. But that should be those all dry or all taken care of. So all I have to do is finish putting the bag together and then they'll be ready to go. All right. Okay, so we've got our second line in there. Just want to make sure. Oh yeah. Okay. See how you can't see the stitching? That's that second line of stitching. That second line of stitching gives you stability without compromising the integrity of your vinyls or anything that you do with it. Okay, so here we go. Here's the other side. This is going to be fun. Maybe. Okay. Now, anytime you make an adjustment on one side, you want to make sure to do it on the other side as well. There we go. Otherwise, it's going to be lopsided, and nobody wants that. Okay, where are my scissors at? Okay, so we're going to clip. I'm trying not to go in too far, and I'm also going up a little high so that, because it's not, the curve may stop here, but because it's at an angle, it can definitely use those clips as well. Okay, come on. If you could only see the blue her eyes can be when she says, when she says she loves me. Okay. Like I said, the gusset is definitely tighter than my preferences would allow, but I'm making it work. Because it's gonna look so cute. Here we go. There we are. Definitely when you're on the other side, you want to make sure to do that extra clip up there, because this whole thing, the whole other side, is going to try to pull at it. Got glitter all over me. And like I said, I am clipping up higher than the curve is, so that it helps with that slope. When she says she loves me. I love that song, so sweet. Okay, here we go. Alrighty. I think we're going to go get Aaron a new work table for outside to go with his resin printer, because the one we got from Amazon, I don't know what in the world. They did not pre-treat anything, and the drawers got wet, and they are so gross. Like, I can't touch them because I have a severe allergy to penicillin, to the point that mold, any type of mold, even some cheeses, blue cheese, gorgonzola, brie, they will make me so sick. Not just sick to the point that I have to go to the hospital if I'm not careful. So I'm not sure what in the world, like, must just have been the cheapest pressed wood in the drawers that they possibly could put. But I'm going to make sure whatever we get this time, we get stuff to treat it for outdoors. So we're going to start with a tacking of 1/4 inch. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I know this bag's going to be just so stinking cute. Dang it, Shannon. I guess I know what my next set of batch cuts are going to be. Because with the pre-order of carpet webbing, I also ordered Kirby webbing that I designed. That is so stinking cute. Just check my planner and make sure I'm not missing anything that needs to be done today. Again, I'm just making sure that my seam is looking nice. Everything's lining up well. I almost hate to say it, but the reason it's lining up well on the curve is because I adjusted for that. Because my cuts are really like stretched to the limits. And see, right here is where that extra clip comes in, because I had to take off the last clip to keep going. So because of this extra clip, I don't have to worry about this moving right here. It's going to stay right there. It's going to stay put. But that's another reason to do that clip. All right. Boop. Boop. Okay. It's not kind, but you said neither am I. All righty. Whew, so far, so good. All right, now I'm going to do my true seam allowance at 3/8, making sure the back stitch nicely at the top. You ever get like an itch on your eyebrow suddenly? It like starts twitching or something. I don't know. Okay. So I've got that second line of stitching. I'm going to use my, see how that's curving up here? That's how tight I had to pull that to get it to fit into that curve. And you can even see how stretched out the clips are. So that is not what I want. So I will, and that's why I make adjustments. It is not a big deal. But it's also why I do test times of it. Like, I don't cut out 5 of a pattern until I've done it at least once or twice. Because if I were to cut out 5 of these, I would be trying to figure out how in the world I'm going to deal with that short gusset, what I feel is a short gusset. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put double-sided tape all the way around. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out I think I have an idea. Keep me in your thoughts because I have an idea. First, can make your hands clap. I can make your hands clap. So I do know that Shannon recommends adding an eighth of an inch, I want to say, to your stabilizer top to so that it folds over at the stabilizer and not to the stabilizer. If you're working with a domestic machine, I think keeping it the same as it is so that you're folding down to your stabilizer means you're not having to sew through your stabilizer too. Okay, what time is it? I never see the time. 25. Oh, we're doing really good. I'll be able to finish this and then go have some lunch. So far, all I've eaten today is a couple of donuts. A couple tiny donuts. I can make your hands clap. Yeah, I think I'm going to. I think I have a way to do this so that up. There we go. Oh, there. I'm like, where did my scissors go? Because I don't like having the bobbin thread to me doesn't look as pleasing as the top thread. So it's like, okay. Okay, so what I did, there we go. Let me move y'all so that you can see a little bit better. Here we go. Okay, so I did one all the way around. Again, remember I do have the fact that my gusset is a little bit shorter. I had to go a little bit shorter on my gusset. And I'm just putting clips where my gusset and that are so that it'll sit. Now, let me see if I can do this. So carefully folding down to that line. Again, you definitely could make this a birth bag. Just on your lining, leave one chunk open, and then you'll have to just like top stitch it closed or hand stitch it closed, or you could put a tiny a zipper pocket on the outside, a little bit like the bend and snap, where the outside pocket is your turning pocket. Okay. So there's one side done. See, I don't mind a drop-in lining, especially if this idea that I have works. But we shall see. It's just sometimes sometimes your materials don't like to mix. Like this that's fine. The vinyl, the pink vinyl is thinner, much thinner than the vinyl from I mean, you can see how thick that is, which is fine. It's a great vinyl. I mean, I don't have any issues with it. But that can be kind of, whenever you have a drop-in lining, you do want to take into consideration how your materials are going to play together. Okay. Ta-da! So, the way you go about doing a drop-in lining, I'm taking my key fob tools and I'm squishing down the corners here. Take away a little bit of that bulk there. So normally you would, this is our exterior. So we would turn it inside, right side out. And then we would take our lining that's like this, drop it in and sew it together. I'm going to leave my outside like this. I'm going to turn my lining inside, right side out, and tuck this inside so that I'm top stitching along my my shell, my outer shell. We're going to see if that works, because I would really like it to. There we go. Did I do those sides? This feels squished, but okay. I just feel like that's going to be easier for me to do. So what I'm going to now do, so that it will not shift a lot, is I'm going to take some strips of 1/2 inch double-sided tape and I'm going to put it right under here. So I'm not sewing through, you know, a strip of tape, and all the vinyl. Like I said, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Okay. I know this will help it. I mean, I would do this for if I was doing a drop in the, oops, bring it over there. Oop. If I was doing the drop in the way it normally is done, then I would still be putting tape on here and here. Okay, so let me turn this out. And I think one of the reasons I'm going to be able to do this is because of the fact that I've got my zipper completely off. I'm not trying to fight with that. So I have just turned my lining inside out. So now I'm going to put my inner inside. It's gonna probably be a tight fit. And that's because it's supposed to be a tight fit. Okay. Just making sure this is actually gonna kind of work before I start fiddling with stuff like tape. Okay, so that should work. So I'm going to take the tape off of one of the side parts where the gusset is. I'm going to carefully line up. God, it's thick. And so I'm lining up that seam there and putting a clip there. I'll take these clips off and line that up. Remember, by the way, anything you do to this side, you're going to have to punch through, because this is where our connectors are going to go. Okay. That was just the freaking side, man. So the thing is I love the shape of this bag, and I love how it looks. It's just, sometimes you love all the what the shape is of bag and everything, and then you get to like this last bit of the construction and you're like, dear God, why do you hate me? All right, so we're gonna do that. And the nice thing is I'm able to make sure that the lining is a little bit under the how is that not fitting? It's the same bloody pieces. I'm having a little trouble with side here. Ah. Okay, the tape is not helping me place everything. Come on. But I'm putting my lining a little bit lower than my, see, it's just a smidge lower than my shell. And I think that's going to help a lot too with how the construction looks. I'm playing all my favorites today. Now that I've got it placed, where are you at, tape? There we go. And that, just having a little piece of tape in there is going to help keep it from shifting. Okay. Ta-da! All right. They are vinyl bags, yes, are expensive because a lot of the reasoning is it doesn't want to move as much. It's thicker. But they are gorgeous. I love a vinyl bag way more than I love using fabric. In fact, I'm moving away from using fabric on the outside of my bags because I like the longevity of the vinyl. Okay, so we have the exterior on the inside with the lining on the outside. Wrong sides are together, and this is so I can not start there. I mean, it's still going to be a challenge to sew this, but here we are. I mean, you saw me fighting just to get the dang thing together. Okay, so I'm going to move you to... Nope. Let me move my cup. That might help. Oh. I always feel like I'm moving in the wrong direction. I guess that's going to have to be it. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I've got like wires all over the place. There we go. Now YouTube can see. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. Where's my hump jumper? There you are. Okay. Put those out of the way. I'm going to use my hump jumper here to get over this bump. That will help. I think I might find a way to birth this bag. Instead of drop-in lining. So that'll probably be my next test bag of this, is figuring out how to do it as a birthed bag. I usually love a drop-in. It's just this is a very now it also could be a little bit of you know, me, I'm the problem type moment, because I did decide to do it this way instead of the way you normally would do a drop-in. Okay, get out of the way. Just throw those on the floor, it'll be fine. Come on, Neil. There you go. Okay. Whew. Almost there. If you're doing it this way, make sure you're not sewing through your zipper panel. Arrgh. I think if the bag were bigger, it wouldn't be such a challenge. But because it's such a small bag, if I had a cylinder machine, again, it probably wouldn't be such a difficulty. However, there we go. However, we've also done it. It is. Okay, now I got to turn the thing out. Yeah, I think I'm going to want to, I don't know, you know, it's that out of the way. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a second because I know it's gonna be a hot moment to get that. Okay, there is. So we've got that on here. And so those are the sides that I'll use. Ooh. Okay, so got those set. Now I just need to pop this out. Berg. Okay. All right, so I just need to stop because this is too cute. And my placement of the glitter vinyl is really nice. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Doggone it. Ah. Yeah, it's worth the fight, I will say. There we go. Okay. Ooh. This sauce. Come on, you. All right. Not too baggy inside. I think a little zipper pocket inside would definitely be doable because it's a perky zip top. Then that means that it would be, hi Charlie. Yeah, you're gonna go over there and look at the squirrels. Hey, psst. Hey, psst, psst. Do I not get any love at all? Why does mommy get no love? What you doing? Psst, psst, psst. You are such a mean little kitty cat sometimes. Charlie, come here, you have fun, see? Come on. There you go. That's my good boy. See? Everybody loves you. Thank you. Mommy appreciates it. You done being in the way? You wanna So I'm sure you could, Charlie, you are just in the way. You know that? So I know you'd be able to add in right in here. You could add in a zipper. It would just be like a small one. Like probably just a little tiny one that you could make like a chapstick or something, be a chapstick pocket. But that would give you a turnout pocket if you wanted to do something like that. You could even do the zipper pocket the way the pattern has it written so that you have a nice turnout pocket just like you do. I don't know why Shannon decided to do a drop-in for this. I'm not mad, again, because it looks really nice. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, you done? You good? All right, well, he made his guest appearance, I guess. Okay. But I do like the shape of it. So the only thing, we have a couple things left to do. We've got to put on our, actually, so yeah, I'm going to clip the zipper back on because we do still need to put on the connectors. And then we need to put on the zipper pull. And I need to decide if I'm going to do a metal zipper end or, you know what? There you are. I'm like, I know I have like 500 of these freaking pencils from Lauren. Okay, so I'm marking the middle of my gusset. Hopefully. Yep, there it is. Okay. And then I'm going to find my hardware. All right, so nope. Ooh, almost done here, and then it will be lunchtime. because your girl is hungry. And yes, I love when he loves to give me boobs, but my husband's home today, so he doesn't have to rely on me for affection and to scream at. Though I tell you right now, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to, shut down and go get some lunch, go to eat, and he's going to be all about, where's my attention? Why aren't you sitting down, mommy? Don't you love me, mommy? It's going to be like that. So I actually have triangle rings that I'm using. You would be able to do a permanent strap on here. Just use a rectangle ring and it'll be fine. But that's gonna look so pretty. I love using rose gold with Sailor Moon. I almost said Rainbow Bright. With Sailor Moon, because of how just like it's just that different shade of pink, and I love using pinks. So we're just going to attach that by figuring out where we want to put the hole. Okay, so I always make sure when I'm doing this that everything looks like it's nice and straight. Get my, yep. Here we are. All right. I want to make sure that it's going to, so this is what I do is I put it kind of back like that. So I know that it's going to actually hit the other piece too. And then once I punch the hole in the top, I use that to then punch the other hole. Come on, let go, let go, let go. And now what I'm going to do is take that off. And I'm going to line up with the other one. Make sure that they're straight. And use that. Oh, Lord. Okay, so now I've got my holes marked. I need to get rivets because I'm Dorcas Maximus here and forgot to get rivets. There you are. Oh, okay. Oh. It's like something up with my chair. It's leaning like this now, so I'm kind of sitting this way. So I need to look at it because it's starting to hurt my legs now. Like I almost fell over there because of it. Okay. So I need 2 rivets. We're almost done. I'm going to kind of leave that right there for the moment. Oh, tell you. 1, 2. Okay, so rivets are going to go over there for the moment. Now what I need to do so I've got my awl, and that's going to help me match up the holes. So, but you also don't want to measure this. Actually, I do measure it without the hardware because I want to make sure that it's a nice tight fit. Where's my I did. I'm like, did I put my thing away? I did. I put it away. All righty. Just a little bit higher. Okay, so, oops. So I'm going to put my hardware on. I'm going to put the post through the front. I usually put my post in so that if I'm a little overzealous of putting on the rivet, that it doesn't you don't end up with a nipple, rivet nipple. All right. So I've got that all the way through all the layers. And say, there we go. That's what I mean, that you want it tight so it's sitting up there and it can wiggle a little bit. In fact, this is nice too because it'll sit right in between those seams. Okay. Set that in a moment after I so mainly I'm getting that fold in, and then I'm going to use that fold to go over it. Make sure we're in the center. Mark through the hole. I'm going to punch. And then we're going to remember to put our hardware on, because I have had to, thankfully I hadn't put the rivet, set it, but oh my goodness, I almost forgot my hardware and I was very, very sad for a moment. Okay. So see, it's through all the layers. Once I have the rivet in there, then I start kind of yanking at the hardware to get it to sit up here. I like good tweaked hardware. Okay, now we're going to put away a couple of things. And this is what I want. Get the rivet press. This is my cam. Come on, where are you at? Yep, alrighty. There's one. To be fair, if you're getting rivet nipples, then your post is too long or you don't have enough thickness between it. Carolina Little Stitches, she has rivet washers that are really good for that. You can also use scrap pieces of fleece and things like that. That's got to be washed. Okay. Just kind of getting some things cleared out of the way so that I'm not fighting with everything and watching everything fall over, because the fairy loves chaos and order all at the same time. Okay, so that's a little better. All right, now we're going to put on and throw clips on the floor our zipper pull. Yay. I do still have the listing for the zipper jigs on fatrabbitsupplies.com. If you search zipper helper, it's the link is also in my bio. But these are 3D printed. The ones that are for sale have a longer screw so that they can go all the way up to the top. And it clamps right onto your table. All right, so now we're going to add our zipper on. Stay. trying to see where I can move. Let me do this. Oh, YouTube, you were just going, oh. When I cut out, I used the Cricut to cut out my my lettering. It didn't kiss cut the iron. So I've got pieces of plastic that I've been pulling off. I think that's the last one, it feels like. Fight like a magical girl. Actually, it's hilarious. I had to add this L in because I somehow forgot it when I was creating the SVG for it. So it said fight like a magica girl. And I was like, I don't know what a magica girl is, but I guess we'll make it work. All right, so I'm putting my zipper pull in. And remember, I marked my zipper. Now, I marked across the teeth because I knew it would be easier to match that up. I'm going to use my machine here a little, actually. All right. I like the height that this zipper helper is. It's a little bit easier to see. Okay. That's it. That does not seem like that is not it. Okay. Okay. Anytime you're separating your zipper to do something like this, you want to mark across your zipper teeth. It just makes it nice and easy. Check that out. Oh, God. See, I love the shape and that little peak of the zipper up there. So there's that. Let me move my zipper jig. Put it over to the side. Stay. And I will get the last thing that I don't know where I put it. There it is. I was like, wait, I know I made I know I made the strap. So I'm just going to tuck that in for right now. And I will be adding let's see if I have, I'll check my hardware real quick and see. I might have a rose gold zipper end, so I don't have to use a piece of vinyl. All right, so bam. Check that out. I do like that little zipper. Base is doing their, it's 12 o'clock. And now my panel comes out a little bit wider because, like I said, I didn't use a 3/8 seam allowance. But look at how, see, if I'd used 3/8, it would cut off all those pretty wands. And I designed the zipper tape so that you could see that type of thing. I made sure that it would be within the seam. And I like that it can either squish up a little bit, so when you're carrying it, or you can flatten that out. But by not having it depressed inside, it doesn't lay flat and force the bag open. It just gives it a little bit more stability. Hang on 1 second. Mother of God, why? Okay. Nope. Maybe. Check out what I got. Nope, those are rainbow. Hang on. Those are all rainbow. I got excited. Okay, check out what I have. Rose gold zipper ends. I mean, I can't be the only one that collects random hardware and then gets all excited because they're like, oh my God, I get to use this. I've had it for ages. So now I just need to decide how long I want the zipper because I want it to be able to be opened nicely. So that's a good thing. So, which is perfect. Do I want it long so that it kind of got a chance to hang out? I think I do. I think I'm just going to put it like, yeah. I'm just going to cut off a smidge because it feels just a little. Bye, Neptune. Boop. Okay. So then I do that. Okay. So when I do my zipper ends, I do a drop of super glue and fold that in. Just kind of hold that. And I use an ultra gel. I like these because you squeeze that and it's. But I mean, it's not just that we collect random stuff. It's the fact that we get so excited when we're like, oh crap, I can use that, because then we can go, see, I told you it was a good idea for me to do that. All right. And then I do another little drop. I feel like I'm fighting my zipper here. And pinch that close. There we go. So I'm going to have the glue hold that for right now. Yeah, but the problem is that he uses it against me as well, because I'm like, why are you keeping those cereal boxes? He's like, I'm going to use them in terrain. I'm like, you're never going to use them in terrain. And then it doesn't matter how long it's been since he's had those things. He will then find a way to use it in terrain. I'm just excited that he has the 3D printer now, because he can 3D print all this terrain when he needs it, not necessarily when he wants to collect it. So I've got my magnet so that it'll hold my screw there. Nobody wants a runaway screw. Where'd my, there it is. It's like, where did my, so my favorite kind of mini screwdriver are the ones that have the twist, so that when you're holding it, you can twist it and that moves. Another good thing to do is when you have, those are extra screws, when you have a nice big magnet like this, is to go ahead and set your screwdriver on it for a moment, because that will help you to magnetize it, and that'll keep your screw from going off. They do. I've actually, since I got my laminator, I have found that it's easy to laminate stuff so that I can save the pattern. Because I'm a hard tracer, so I lose like lines. Sorry, I just suddenly remembered I still have donut over here. I've been eating on these since like 8 o'clock this morning. Okay, so I think that is set enough. You want to make sure that you didn't overdo it on the clipping on that. Yep, so that's just holding it together. But I am going to put a touch on the zipper teeth. And then we're going to stuff this. Really? I'm about to end up gluing my hand to this thing. I just know it. Oh my Lord. I know I don't normally have this much issue with these freaking zipper ends, but because it's on camera. Come on, get in there. There we go. So normally the super glue will hold it together. There we go. Okay. And that's why I glue it like that, so that it'll kind of just like slide in there nicely. You want to make sure that you're not overdoing, again, that fold, so that it's nice and even. There we go. And then I'm going to put a, where are you at? First, I'm going to stab in here. Then I'm going to put a drop of super glue into the hole. We're going to put that over there. Where are you going? And then we're going to come on. All right. This bag has decided to be a pain in my butt. So we're going to use the other screwdriver because apparently that one, the head is too big. There we go. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. So you have to press as you're screwing in because you want to be careful and get it actually flush in there and not strip your screw. There we go. That's why sometimes you want to get in there with like a really sharp implement, and kind of poke in there. So there we go. Okay, so that just pops right in there. Comes out. I do like having it a little bit longer so it's nice to grab. And if it hangs out, it's not too big of a deal because the zipper is pretty. But you can also tuck it in there if you don't want to deal with it. The nice thing is if it's too short, it won't stay tucked in, whereas this will. So whatever your preference, you're able to do that. But here we go. Modified, where are you going? Modified Aries. So normally when you make the Aries, these two curves here have a zipper pocket. So this is just a one pocket pony. Boop. I do think like a little zipper pocket here, like the way you put it together, would be really nice though. I'm not a throw everything in my bag kind of gal. I like to have some pockets, and maybe a little one on the outside wouldn't be a bad idea. And then I would be able to turn it. So I'm probably going to do that. Let's set that here. Maybe. There we go. Stay. All right. So I'm going to get my notebook that I have. Ow, I almost break my arm. So this is the one I got from the Starry Adventure box. Confession, I still have not used my jelly vinyl from that. Yes, I did just now. Up. So we got the, okay. Put a zipper end on it and everything. Boop. I do like a metal zipper end. I will say that is one of the things that I do enjoy having that, because it's got that nice weight to it. I think it came out super cute. The next one I'm looking to add like a zipper pocket over here so that I can turn it out instead of drop-in lining. With tiny bags, drop-in linings are challenging. We'll go with challenging. Dave. Let me put my magnet up. All right, so I keep all my pattern notes in here. There we go. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I think that's about my only caveats. Because everything else seemed to work out really nicely. I did like the way the zipper panel was done on this, so I definitely recommend that. If you are just getting into edge painting, I do recommend this acrylic leather paint set. It has 14 different colors plus a base coat and a top coat, and it was inexpensive, so it's a good way to try out edge painting. And this is a good pattern to do so as well, because all you have is 2 or 3 pieces that you're edge coating. For this bag, we're probably looking at 85 because it's a small bag. It has its challenges, so it took a little bit longer, but it's also just kind of a one compartment bag, so probably 85, mainly because not of time, but of materials. I also would say be careful what materials you mix, that they're kind of the same style of material, but I like it. It's a cute bag. I've got my notes there. Let's see. So I talked about the zipper helper. Where are my pattern weights? I have them somewhere. I don't remember where. One moment. Oh, mother. Can I put them here? Yes. I found them. Okay, so currently on Fat Rabbit, I also have pattern weights. They have a soft felt, so they're not going to scratch any of your textiles that you're using to weigh down. They're not super heavy, but they do keep like rolled up vinyl from unrolling, and they do hold your pattern pieces nicely. So right now on the website, I do have these carpet from Dragon Con style ones. However, oh yeah, see, and here's the carpet. In fact, I've got an order I've got to make. But I'm going to put custom ones up. And these are from Has Been Hotel. They're the little duckies. They are my absolute favorite. I love them so much. I'm trying very hard not to keep them myself. But I will have a set of these available on the website today. But you can have any type of, you can get a custom style. So if there's, I did Baldur's Gate for somebody. I've done like Star Wars ones, things like that. So it would be, you'd be able to request it. Also trying to decide if I want to sell these, because they are heart-shaped pop-ups. And just throw that anywhere. But it also has a protective resin on it. So those should be up this afternoon or tomorrow, depending on when I remember and come out of a food coma, because I'm hungry. So hungry. But just wanted to show you all those. But the link is in my bio for all the shops. I will go ahead and get this listed ASAP as well, because I'm trying to make sure that anything I sew on TikTok is listed right away. And I will do a quick like snippet on the TikTok. Oh my God. Okay, y'all. It's time for lunch. I'm hungry. The TikTok lives have gotten me followers mainly, and gotten sales for Fat Rabbit, but my best sales are in person at stores. But just like, bye, go eat. Yeah, so it's also just a way to kind of connect. I like to talk to y'all. It's always fun and exciting. And I keep getting asked for tutorials, and I'm trying to learn how to do those because I'm like, oh crap. Y'all want to learn from me? What? I don't know. I don't know about that. But it is lunchtime. I am hungry. The donuts are done, and I am so done. So let's go in there. I will